Every Wednesday, we take time to put the current national debates into perspective, and we are joined in studio by our regular legal and political affairs analyst, Ambrose Weda, advocate of the High Court of Kenya, a member of the disciplinary committee of the LSK, and the current chair of Sony Sugar Company. A very big welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
Now, let us start with, let me tell you, after 7 rounds of voting by heads of state at the 28th African Union Summit in Addis on Monday, Foreign Affairs Secretary Amina Mohamed and indeed Kenya lost the election for the African Union Commission Chair to Chad's Musa Mahmat. What was your reaction to this loss?
It was disappointing, but I think on the other hand, Kenya showed and Amina showed a very good show.
Yes.
They had to emerge a winner, and if you followed the procedures, actually she did very well. She was at one time she was leading, and another time she was runners up, and being a lady, being a Kenyan, being all that, being a woman, I think it was all accolades, and the Kenyan nation was at the top in the African continent. But you know, I hear that the last minute complications came because some of our neighbors,
pulled out
as usual, became jealous. And that jealousy is not unusual.
No.
Because previously, remember, they even tried to do their railway. They tried to take a longer route of their railway just because we are doing our railway. So it's usual for them to feel jealous. You know very well, even Kenyans, when they go to the neighboring countries, especially Tanzania, even Rwanda, they are just hated. They just hate us because we are innovative, hardworking. Okay. And they just brandish us corrupt. And so on. So I think they just looked at the energy and the stature Kenya would get, and I think they just got jealous and abstained. But I think it was a good show for this country. It was worth the investment. Okay,
now, in an exclusive interview with NTV, political analyst John Gashie attributed Amina's loss to the numerous factors such as the huge absenteeism from the Southern Bloc, weak negotiations by the Kenyan delegation, and perhaps a sense by other countries that they stood to gain nothing from Kenya's win. And this is the insight we have for you.
The issues is not that whether Amina was qualified. She is eminently qualified and competent. But the bigger issue was national interest and trade-offs. What do you give for me to, so to speak, to scratch your back? So what was Kenya's raison to have her there? What was the trade-off? And those were issues that were never really put on the table. Why did the Southern Bloc abstain? In normal diplomacy, what they did as a bloc, they withdrew. Now, that in itself tells you that perhaps the Kenyan negotiating or the diplomatic offensive had failed to read what was happening in the SADC.
So do you think that the Kenyan negotiations were weak, or that we didn't do a better job of persuading South African bloc to vote for Amina?
No. I think the fellow is... we try to explain every loss, like every politician, you explain every loss. For instance, what does Uganda gain more by voting for a Chadian than a Kenyan? If it is a trade-off.
Yes.
If it is basically trade-off.
Well, he's saying the Southern Bloc on that.
Yeah, level. but I'm giving an example.
M7,
First of all, he said, look, that the trade-off, they were looking at the trade-off, what they would gain. So I would say, what would Uganda gain more by a Chadian winning than a Kenyan?
Yes.
What would Burundi gain or Rwanda? So that point is out.
Okay.
Secondly, negotiations. These people supported the bid at the beginning. So what more negotiation did they want?
Absolutely.
So let us note, whenever there's a loss, let's accept somebody had to win. And the Chadian won, and Amina did not. So going around, we did not negotiate. Well, did we have to prostrate or go naked or do what for us to say we have negotiated well? What did we have to do to Uganda? We do everything for them. They are there. We trade with them. They are our friends. We are there together. You go to Uganda, you can spend Kenya shillings. So what did you have to do? Okay. Let us also know, just whenever there's a loss, you want to blame, they didn't do it well, the Kenyan delegation didn't do this. We did our best, but there was a better person.
Okay.
And in fact, the correct thing is we were betrayed by our neighbors. But us as a serious country, we don't betray people. When theirs will come, if it is necessary, we give them.
Now, on that note of betrayal, it has emerged that even Djibouti, which had pledged to support Amina, backed the Chadian candidate. And of course, you just mentioned Uganda and Burundi, who did not vote for Kenya. And Amina has said that Kenya's neighbors should be investigated for abandoning her during the vote. What effect would really this have on the East African community?
We can't investigate. What does she mean by investigation?
We need to let bygones be bygones.
Actually, as a diplomat, she knows that you never know what took place in the country, and you take it and say, okay, you people didn't vote for us, but as we are mature enough, when your stake is at the table,
we are bigger than this.
We are bigger than those small considerations. If we pledge as a country that we will vote for you, see, like the college members in America.
Yes.
In some clans, they are Democrats. They don't like the other fellow, but once they are pledged, I'll vote for you. They don't change. So us as a country, we are mature enough. We don't have to copy Uganda, Burundi. Burundi is the size of not even Nyanza province. So when they flip-flop, we understand. Uganda itself, you see, they have only seen Museveni throughout. So when Museveni wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and says this, but here you know us, we can tell even President Uhuru, no, Your Excellency, we disagree. And that will not work. And the President says, okay, fine. So let us not, even my great lady Amina, this bygones be bygones, these questions of talking, we investigate this. She's a CS, let her continue serving. And when she goes to Uganda, let them embrace them and say, we have reached higher figures. There maybe they are in Burundi, they have oppressed women. Hakuna anaweza kwenda mpaka huko juu.
Now, of course, there's a view that with his relentless campaigning for Amina, the president made her look like a Jubilee candidate opposed to a Kenyan. Could this really explain why there were significant numbers of Kenyans on social media who seemed to celebrate the defeat?
No.
Okay.
Let me tell you, there are many people are prone to negatives. If you want to test that, then post something positive like an advert or a quote. True. You will find 2 or 3 comments or 1 like. But anything negative, something like Hawezi, you can't, you will fail. That one, everybody's here. There is people's minds are convoluted to negativity, and that is why nobody can do a global campaign if you are not backed by the head of state.
Absolutely.
How can Mr. Weda? I would also have wanted to be AU chair, but how can I even secure appointment with people like leaders of small countries like Rwanda, Burundi, Djibouti? Can I? Even their ministers, they don't see me.
No.
So my campaign will be a non-starter. So here, it was the president and the deputy to take lead. And how do you take lead? You go to your colleagues and you talk to them.
Absolutely.
So this thing of saying Jubilee, what is it? If it became AUJ, was it a Jubilee thing?
No.
So those who are on social media spewing out negativity. Remember, what you give, you get it back in equal measure, shaken, pressed down, overflowing. Men shall bring to your lap. You spew out negativity, you
Shall
get
come back.
For me, I'm very proud that Kenya was at the map.
So what lessons do you think we should take from this experience?
That one, as you progress, not everybody will love you, but you should be keen.
Yes.
So that you also have a backup.
Know your friends.
Yeah, know your friends and then know your enemies, and you make more enemies. The more you progress, the more you make enemies. And that essentially is part of the problem we face. When you see Tanzania and Uganda saying they are going to do a railway twice as long, a pipeline twice as long just to avoid us
passing through Kenya.
Jealousy, basic jealousy. A case of sour grapes. But we are here to stay. They'll have to deal with us. They have no choice.
Natubanduki.
Kabisa.
We get straight back into our conversation, and of course we're joined in studio by our regular political analyst, Ambrose Weda, advocate of the High Court of Kenya, a member of the disciplinary committee of the Law Society of Kenya, and of course he is the chairman of the Sony Sugar Company. And we were just talking about what happened at the AU. Now we move on. There are 14 days left before the ongoing voter registration exercise officially ends. And we're still hearing cases of low turnout. Jubilee and CORD have had to suspend party member registration in favor of voter registration after both recorded quite a low turnout, especially in their strongholds. What will it take to revive enthusiasm for people to register as voters?
I still keep on saying that the so-called apathy is overhyped. There are people who are already registered, like you and I.
Yes.
Then there are new people. But I said, and I repeat, majority of these new people are the yo-yo generation.
Our
They don't know
20-somethings.
the front and they don't know the back. They don't know whether to vote or whether not to vote. They don't know. When you tell them that Raila Odinga was detained,
They don't know what that
they
is.
ask you, kwani alikosa nini? Alideteniwa nini? Now, what was detention? What does it mean? Alishikwa na police. You get it? When you tell them that Kenyatta was the founding father,
They're thinking this one.
they're thinking this one. And do you understand?
The millennials, this 90s, the
Yes,
kids born
they-
in the
they-
90s.
So how to attract them is not through these rallies. Okay?
Yes.
This rally is a name calling which threatens violence. Because they are neither Kikuyus nor Luos. These
No,
people.
these ones are Kenyan.
They are not even Kalenjins.
No.
They don't understand what we are talking about. So that has to be addressed, or we just pray that God will turn their hearts.
So we need a yo, what's up kind of campaign
Yes,
to talk
yes,
to them.
yes, yes.
Wase, to register Joe.
Joe, tuone hii masee, hii you see, if Sonko was Sonkonizing the registration process,
By
they
the
will
way,
come.
yeah, this Dhitima.
Yes, but now when you go there and Raila is singing Kisumu Dalawa, some of these people, my children, are wondering what's wrong with this guy. I don't know Kisumu. When President Uhuru is speaking, very nice Kikuyu.
And singing Kikuyu hymns.
Yes, now even the daughters are like, Daddy, what are you smoking? What is this? This generation is a different generation, but we have counted them statistically.
Yes.
So we are saying there's voter apathy. These people are different. They are different. I have my own in my house.
Yes.
Up to now, they have not registered.
Wait, can
And
you
you
take
ask
them? Can you take them, Weda, please?
Sure.
Please,
I'm going to
tafadhali.
register.
Just
I
take
expect
them.
someone to say, I'm going to register today.
No, I think you need to take them with you on Friday or Saturday. Go with them. Because, okay, as we were not asked to register,
Yes.
but I remember even in the last elections,
Yes.
tulienda pamoja.
Yes.
Even the referendum.
Yes.
We were registered on our own, but going, we went with some went with my mom, some went with my dad.
Yes.
So I think now as dad,
Yes.
you're going to have to take these kids with you on Sunday. Register them.
Now you see.
Please. Parents may need to do
yes.
that.
So you see, yes. Somebody, once we appreciate this generation, then I think we'll change the pattern. But if we are just talking about our stronghold, they are not anybody's stronghold. those guys.
Absolutely not.
And even if they are on register, you will have to persuade them to go and vote.
Let's first
Because
get them registered.
Somebody is on Facebook
Hey,
in
by
the
the
morning
way.
and you say, go very early. Yeah. So that is where the issue is.
For real. I agree.
Then there are
I
those
agree.
who do not have IDs.
Yes.
And they fear going for the IDs.
Why are they fearing?
That you are late, you can be charged. And actually the chiefs and the people tell them, "Bewe, kumbe, you will be arrested."
You can be charged.
Oh yes. Failing to apply for registration is a criminal offense.
Whoops. Okay, now we intervene through the church. Maybe on Sunday you tell the young people you'll take them on Monday to register for IDs.
Yes.
Okay, now last week CORD leader Raila Odinga made allegations of an elaborate scheme by government agents to register foreigners on the ongoing exercise, and Majority Leader Eden Duale has rebutted these claims.
Now he has shifted to the existence of ghost voters. Bizarrely and very strangely, he is now falsely accusing neighboring countries, Uganda and Ethiopia, as enlisting as voters in Kenya. How far can one lie to get the presidency? He is discrediting the National Registration Bureau. He is discrediting the National Intelligence Service without any evidence.
So is there any credibility, for these claims made by the former PM? And then, of course, there's been stories about the Teso South MP, Mary Emase, who is purportedly had gone to recruit Ugandans to register in Kenya. What is your response?
If you're having problems registering Kenyans, where do you get these foreigners to register? Those foreigners, you have to give them IDs.
You have to give them incitement to come from across.
Yeah, let's start from IDs.
Yes.
You have to give them IDs. You must have given them IDs much earlier. Because giving them IDs today, you faces the same problems
That the locals
have. In fact, worse problems. So you have to give them IDs, then you register them. And let me tell you, even registering 10,000 people, you have gone to a school of 1,000 students. You have seen the bigger crowd. Remember,
Even 500 is
you remember one bus
Yes.
carries 60 people.
Actually, on average, 51. The
Yes,
small
51.
One. Yeah.
No, that's the big one. Let's put the big one 60.
Yeah.
So one bus carries 60. 610 buses.
Wow.
6,000 are 100 buses. Where 100 buses are moving, you will see it. Then you have to bring them and take them back. You know, sometimes I think my big brother and the senior Prime Minister Raila Odinga, there are some lies he need not say. He should leave for small people like Millie and the shenanigans to spew out. But him, he doesn't delve into that. That's a lie par excellence and unbefitting of a senior citizen like him. It is, even when people have rallies, yes, oh, people have been transported, and you tell them the buses we have in this country are not enough to transport 10,000 people. Not enough. So that is a lie.
Okay, now, there is shock and frustration at the recent ambush against KDF soldiers in Kulbiyo, and of course, in Somalia by the Al-Shabaab. Reactions have been swift and they have been hard-hitting. Listen to Wiper leader Kalonzo's remarks on this incident.
Mwaka jana askari 170 wanachinjwa kama kuku nje ya Somalia. Leo jana jioni asubuhi wakienda kwa maombi wakachinjwa tena. Na leo tumetoa kofia tukakumbuka vijana wetu ambao wameuawa wakitetea nchi yao. Lakini lazima nao uongozi wa nchi yao wawe wakijua kwamba huwezi ukapata suluhu ya shida ya Somalia kwa kutumia nguvu za majeshi. Shida na suluhu ya Somalia itapatikana na Wasomali wenyewe.
The call to withdraw KDF troops from Somalia has been gaining momentum across the country. Do you think it is time to bring our soldiers back home?
First of all, Kalonzo should tell us when they were deploying the soldiers there, they were with Kibaki. Kibaki was president, he was deputy president. When they were doing it, he should have told us the reason why we deployed these people were this, but now that has been fulfilled. Let's not yap. When you are on opposition, you are yapping. When you are on this, that is one. Two, those people are in a war zone. In a war zone, people kill and people die. Anytime you wake up, people kill, people die. And when you enlist in the military, that is the assurance that you will kill. And you can also be killed. Death generally was promised by Almighty God that each one of us, our physical bodies will die. Therefore, let us not fret when it's about death. The issues that drove us into Somalia, it is those gallant soldiers that have kept us safe here. The same terrorists have come all the way to Garissa to kill people. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So the damage, what they have controlled for us is much bigger. So those who are just talking, bring our soldiers home, when they see blood, they scare, or they think it will give them votes. They are dancing on the graves of these gallant soldiers, men and women, who have given up their lives to protect you and I, to protect Kalonzo and Raila Odinga, so that as they jump and they're stretching their legs in the saloon, these people are ready to die for them, to enjoy that money. So that talk is reckless and wrong.
Okay. Now, former Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Farah Maalim, has not only been vocal about the withdrawal of our troops from Somalia, he also has an interesting theory on what is keeping KDF in Somalia.
Our entry into Somalia has not improved our security here. What you have to understand is that every powerful security breach that happened in Kenya happened after we went into Somalia. What are we doing in there? We're doing everything else, including all the corruption and the trading in charcoal and sugar and the rest of it. The only thing we're not doing is we're not sorting out Al-Shabaab there. We went in there and we stayed put and did business.
So do you agree with Farah Maalim that the KDF and AMISOM presence in Somalia has not made the region any safer? And secondly, that Kenyans and other nations in Somalia have lost track of what initially took them there?
You see, Farah is going for elections and is looking for votes. Security provided by these men and women. If why did Uganda go there?
To
Somalia. They went there ahead of us. Why did they go? It is because of the threats and they went there, and because of the fight, now they can't reach Uganda. Even Kenya, we had reached a level here where terrorists were harassing people here in Isili.
Nairobi, yes.
In Nairobi, every corner, every bus, every minute you are told, oh, this mall they are going to ball. Oh, today they were throwing guns at people along Thika Superhighway. All that has changed. They are now sporadic. Let us look at the gains. It is not that when you sleep well and eat well and you wake up and then you say, bring the soldiers home. There's nothing they are doing. Unless you are working for the Al-Shabaab yourself. So that you're putting pressure to make things easier for them. Military strategy requires that you attack the enemy at home. Keep them busy at home. Keeping them busy means they're busy fighting there. The bombs that they went with to the KDF center, they would have come with it to get to a mall.
Yes.
You get it? They can't come because they are busy there. That's what even the Americans do.
That's why they are in Syria and everywhere.
Yes, they are not allowing these people to go to New York. So I don't know. Our leaders, they talk left, right, and center when it is convenient. No wonder they are not commander-in-chief. They are not even commanding anything.
Okay.
Even the Askaris, these guards, because they are flip-flopping. In the morning, Kalonzo says, let's deploy. Let's deploy to Somalia. In the afternoon, when he's out of power, our men and women, we to the Toa Kofia, Sijui Nini. What's wrong with these leaders?
Okay. Now, on the other hand, Kenyans were angry that the president was away in Addis campaigning for Amina Mohammed when he should have been here in solidarity with the soldiers and their families. Do you think that State House should have been a little more sensitive during this national tragedy over the weekend?
What was the president supposed to do? Wipe tears as a commander-in-chief is not even supposed to show tears in public. Were the bodies supposed to be taken to State House? Or was the president supposed to be at the airport receiving the bodies? What are we talking about?
Okay,
is it cowardice? So that you see when... I saw my big sister Rachel Mamu receiving the fallen heroes. And I could see tears in her eyes. And I was saying, no, that is not from a minister of defense.
But we're
the
human.
Short military training I went through, I saw, even when your colleague falls, you don't disrupt formation to pick the colleague. You continue. That is what it is. You say you have... So this one of people looking lugubrious and that's not military. That's what the terrorists want to see. They want to see your life disrupted. They want to see you crying. They want to see pain. And God says, be strong and courageous. So do we obey the devil who says, let's look coward and crying, or our God who says, be strong and courageous? I will never forsake you. I will always be with you.
And on that note then,
yes.
So how do we draw the line between the president as the commander-in-chief,
yes,
and the president as comforter-in-chief, as former U.S. President Barack Obama once said?
Our president is not a comforter-in-chief. He's a commander-in-chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. He's also president of the civilian.
Yes.
When there are civilian issues, he has to deal with them. He can't say, now, I'm still crying. He has to do all those things.
Life has to go.
He has to... Addis Ababa is just here. How many minutes of flight? 1 hour.
Barely, yeah. Slightly
yes,
less.
You go there, you do business, you come back. We go to Kisumu, we come back. Somebody goes to Addis, he comes back. Somebody goes to Dar, he comes back. So we should be saying the president should do all those things. And he is doing all of them. And we should be grateful that we have a young, energetic president who can cover all these things. But those who hate Amina just want to, when our soldiers died, he was not here to cry tears. And if I saw my president crying tears, I would say, Your Excellency, unless you are trying to cut onions and they entered your eyes, it is not good for the president.
Okay. Now, the three co-principals, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Moses Wetangula, met with ANC's Musalia Mudavadi yesterday in a show of solidarity and unity within NASA.
What we have here this morning is therefore the first formal public commitment that we have embarked on firm steps for an alternative government to be presented to the people of Kenya soon in line with their demand. We assure the people of Kenya that we shall not fail them.
Our alliance is conceived as a mass movement of political parties, institutions, and organized groups. This alliance is a special purpose movement to uproot Jubilee regime from power for its misrule and abdication of responsibility and collusion, runaway corruption, and building state of Kenya's economy.
So do you feel that yesterday's meeting is a signal of commitment by the opposition to send you as Jubilee packing come August 8th?
They have all the time to continue meeting. After the meeting, the writing is on the wall. Raila will not relent. He will be the presidential candidate. It's either him or there is no NASA. That's number one.
Yes.
That's guaranteed. His language, his campaigns, his rallies, one. Then two. One of the two will be ordinary civilian between Kalonzo and Mudavadi.
Yes.
One of them is destined to be ordinary civilian.
Meaning no rank.
Yeah. One of them will be running mate, so the other one will go to the forest.
Nama DVD.
So if my DVD is Raila's running mate, Kalonzo will go to the forest.
And Wetangula.
If don't count Wetangula. Wetangula, as him, he should just run back for Senate. Once if you take Kalonzo, my DVD will just be a civilian running. So there are those two issues. Raila must be the candidate,
Yes.
and then you have to share. What are you going to do with the two? One who will remain. They have to resolve that issue, and that's where we are waiting as Jubilee. We are waiting. So
We are ready.
So they can meet and have tea, and even have a nyama choma or even steak. But those issues have to be thrashed out. We wish them all the best, but we are waiting. We will come in as soon as somebody has been left and is the civilian.
So you're making it very clear in your opinion that you don't think that Raila will be a kingmaker and support the
No. That I cannot take it to the bank. You can take it to Imperial Bank or which one?
That one is still under receivership.
So that's where you take this one. So even the way Raila is, he says I have one bullet.
Yes.
He says blah blah blah. I have tired of numbers. I'm going to do this. You can see even when Wakina Kalonzo tried to play hard, what did he do? That's why they brought in Mudavadi. When Kalonzo said, "Oh, back me this time," or whatever, he brought in Mudavadi. Chance. When Wetangula said, "Oh, you are too old, you can't do it," he shoved him aside. Now he has brought my DVD, and everybody is crying about running mate. Between my DVD and Kalonzo, they are crying who is going to be running mate. And I know if you gave Raila a chance, he would give my DVD because my DVD has the numbers. Kalonzo has 1.1 million. The lawyers are 2 point something.
Okay.
Combined. So, but if you take Kalonzo, if you take my DVD and you leave Honorable Kalonzo, it will be like we told you. These Luos have abandoned you. You see, we told you. We told you. So they are in a catch 26.
It's not 22. Between the rock and a hard place.
22 ni kidogo. It might be 26 or 30.
Okay, they're in a tough place.
Yes.
Now let us move abroad.
Yes.
The US President Donald Trump has had a very hectic first few days in office. You know, he has issued executive orders to ban immigration from 7 specific countries, which also happen to have large Muslim populations. And many people are calling it a Muslim ban. But Trump is convinced that this will make America safer. What is your opinion of the events of the first few days of Trump's administration?
One, by the time President Obama was coming in power, the whole world had hated America. You know the way our neighbors hate us here because we are doing well, and they hated America. Obama tried actually to bring back that love, the universal love for America.
Right.
And that will come back with these Trump orders.
The hate.
Yes, the hate will come back. But my view is security will improve.
It will.
Oh, definitely. These terrorists, they come from these places. And they just walk in, they assimilate into the system, and they sabotage the system. So that focus will improve security to some extent, but increase the hatred. And that hatred can make those who are in to be very vicious.
Yes.
So it means more work has been increased.
The vigilance.
Yes, but I think, in my view, he was right.
Okay, now,
Yes.
Donald Trump had promised to carry out these exact actions during his campaign.
Yes.
And, he seems to be carrying out his pledges immediately.
Yes.
So are you among the Kenyans who are secretly wishing they'd see their government move with speed to implement some of these promises?
Definitely.
We wish things could be done a little faster.
Oh, yes. We should have been, like now we are going to elections, but we don't have this 5 stadia.
Yes.
We would have started digging 2 of them. Because I think $1 billion is enough for a study. We would have dug 1 or 2 and then say, give us 5 more years and we will dig 10 more. But we have done well on roads, we have done well in school, we have done well on things, a few things that we have not done well on issues of corruption.
Yes, that
so
is a
we
huge
will
one.
we will thumb a few people, take a few CSS to court.
Don't we need to see people behind bars?
You'll see a few CSS in court. These people who did Olympics ndani, sijui hata kama Weda ameiva Sony ndani, and then during now give us another time and more people will be ndani. But there are some doable pledges that you do, like you remember when NAC came to power?
Yes.
And they said everybody back to school.
Hey,
And they said open up those schools.
And they were open.
So there are things that I think one thing that I admire about Trump is Kumbe was not lying.
But now this story of the wall and taxing Mexico another 20%, what is your opinion of that one?
Good. Why are Mexicans not making their country better? Why are they always struggling to go to the US? It may be wrong.
How do you tax me for something you have decided to
Look
do?
at it this way. I want us to look at it this way. I tell you that I will kill this gentleman if you give me authority.
Okay.
On your behalf, I will kill him. You go ahead and give me that authority.
So now you will kill
Do
him.
I have a chance to continue rationalizing? Is it right or wrong? You become a liar. He said, I will do the wall. People said, in fact, for that reason, we are giving you a vote. How can he back off?
Okay.
Let him do the wall. If it is bad, it is the people's choice. He told them, it is bad to go and do things you didn't say. So most of the things he's doing, he had told the Americans that they agreed with it. So whether they are bad or right, they all share equal blame.
Ni kusema
I
na
told you,
kutenda,
you
and I have
agreed with
done.
me, and I've done them.
Kusema na kutenda.
Yes.
Wow.
Then when you go in, then you start rationalizing. Obama, on the other hand, did not promise those lofty things.
The healthcare, the word.
When he did healthcare, he went and tried to bring it. And he brought it, actually. The things he brought. This one did not bring make those diplomatic promises. I will make the race as well. He said, I'll deport these guys. These guys who keep on just jumping to America, I will deport them. Our companies that are shipping our jobs to other countries, I'll slap them with that. And that's exactly what he did. So the responsibility rests with those who voted for him. He did his part by telling them, these are the things I'm going to do. And they say, we agree.
So they're equally to blame for whatever happens in the
If
future.
it is bad. But they wanted those things.
Okay.
So I think I would give Trump thumbs up for honesty.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yes.
But it does. I like
Yes.
your rationale absolutely
Yes.
makes sense. Now finally, of course, hey, we had another James Bond moment. This time in Meru, where a young man decided to hang onto a helicopter carrying CORD leader Raila Odinga and flew into the sky. The young man was arrested and faces charges of attempted suicide. If you were his lawyer, how would you persuade the court to order that he gets some psychiatric help rather than throw him into jail?
Attempted suicide.
That's what they have charged him with.
Attempted suicide, actually, you must consciously have decided that you want to take your life.
So how do we explain his hanging onto the helicopter?
But we see those things on TV every day. We see them on movies.
Those
people
are
hang.
stunts. Those are stunts.
Yeah, but
where you're told, do not try this at home.
No, they don't say that. But even if we see those things happen, and they are doable, and he did it, and he didn't die.
So what would you say in court?
I would say it is not attempted murder. He was, he should tell us what he wanted, but it was not attempted suicide. Otherwise, he would have died. How comes he didn't die?
The pilot brought the chopper down.
Yes, because the guy didn't want to die. He would have left to have disembarked before the pandemic so that he kills himself. He got what he wanted, attention. Okay? And that attention should be asked, my brother, what was your issue? And he says, look, I want a job. I am jobless. So all this I was doing to attract attention. He has succeeded.
I hope he has a job now. Well, once he
Actually,
gets
it's Raila who should have given him the job.
uh-huh.
He saw his help coming through Raila. You remember in the Bible there was a woman who said, if I can only touch his
cloth.
garment,
Yes, just the garment.
I will be healed. Same guy said, if I could only fly in his chopper,
Quisha.
my problems are healed. So it is upon Honorable Raila and his team to say, you are healed.
I hope they're listening. You
Instead
need to
of
give the
some
young
people,
man a
he's the
job.
one to say, maneno ya court wacha. He reached to me, and he knew that if he reached to me and he attracts my attention, he will get a job. His wishes are granted.
So please give
Please.
our James Bond a job.
Yes. So this is an approach that I would do it. There are many things I would do which would amount to suicide, and we have done it. Sometimes when you want to catch the president's attention, and you have seen it,
Yes. People
you know you can be shot, but you run. Yeah, Excellency. Then the president says, "Acha yeye akuje," and you tell me, Your Excellency, today all my problems are finished. I have had this issue, but I have reached you. And the president is fine. That is solved.
Right.
I am not charged with attempted suicide. That you know, we could have shot you. Hapana,
Saidia.
saidia mtu wa Mungu. So Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, we are saying the man came to touch your garment.
Through the helicopter.
Yes, please come in and show that he touched a former prime minister and not just a Madogo, the new man like others. So I think charging him is a mistake.
Okay.
Big mistake.
So
yes.
now, Sawa, what do you think of this new proposal for the new education system? Are we ready to implement it?
It will be very costly. It requires time, but it looks good.
But I think I like the element of time.
Yes.
Because I think we need to empower the teachers first.
Yes, I think 844, when it was implemented, Moi played politics with it. He tried to implement it very fast. So MPs and all the shenanigans went around trying, we are building 844. Hey, we are building science rooms. We are building this. But this one is fairly good in the sense that it will retain exams, but exams in a way that is structured.
Yeah, through continuous assessment.
Yes, and then the best part of it is that people will be able to specialize. Today, it can't be that when you get an A, you can do medicine and do law and do political science with it. Surely.
And be an artist at the same time.
Yes. By the time I was leaving A level, I did economics, literature, and geography. So I couldn't be a doctor. It was obvious. You choose. And in secondary, if you want to be a doctor, you start
with the sciences.
Yes, but this thing of you have to do physics,
geography,
and also do Vasco da Gama, the way he went round to Cape of Good Hope and cram it in the head. So I think it is good. I just hope, because I was trying to look at the international curriculum, the areas we are not getting well.
Okay.
Because even 844,
yes, you
go to Uganda, they consider you are Form 4.
Oh yeah, you still have to do A levels.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is also the same as other international, because most international curricula have an element of A level.
Yeah.
So that will need to be taken into account. But it's a good system. We have had 844. We have had its strengths and failures. So if we implemented this for another, let's say 15 or 20 years, we'll do with it. But if we try to implement it as a Jubilee pledge,
no,
then we will run into trouble. But it's a good thing, in my view, having looked at it. Otherwise, we are doing well. We're doing well. Now, a few challenges, a few corrupt people here and there, stealing here and there, dipping their hands.
You need to put them in. That's what Kenyans are saying. Tumechoka.
Yes, some will be put in. But somebody with 100 million.
But at least put some. You need to see some of them inside.
You send a policeman who is earning 20,000 to arrest such a fellow. The policeman will go, and the first thing they ask you is,
how much?
Where is the money? Do you still have the money? When you tell them, yes, they say before they arrest you, they'll conduct a search. They'll take you out. Meanwhile, as they are taking you in the vehicle, you talk to them and say, my brother, where the money is, you will not do a search.
Sasa tumekutuma tafadhali, let us see a few. Put
so,
to account.
Why do you struggle with these things? Kila mtu anakula, unataka ngapi? And that is how documents disappear. And that's how but I hope and I know that the country, let each one of us play his role. The country is going to be better and better. Now you know that the railway is coming in May.
Yeah. So that's
Beautiful railway, and you should take the first flight. We will be allowing people free ride.
Whether will organize for us to take the first trips, fine.
And when you come back, you know where your vote goes.
Zach, you have borne witness, so we shall hold him liable to that. And time is definitely not with us. Time for us to say kwaheri. That is Ambrose Weda, advocate of the High Court of Kenya. He is a member of the Disciplinary Committee of the Law Society of Kenya and the chairperson of Sony Sugar Board. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We wish you a wonderful week ahead.